You've worked truly hard again today. On your way home from work today, or while staring blankly out the window, did you find yourself letting out a deep sigh without even realizing it? Before we knew it, the cold winter has passed, and a warm spring has arrived with cherry blossoms blooming one by one on the streets. The world is so bright, and everyone seems to be moving forward energetically at their own pace. But there are times when you feel a chilling sensation that your life alone is at a standstill. On social media, which you opened after a long time, someone is posting wedding invitations, another is announcing a promotion, and someone else is smiling brightly, saying they've bought a nice house of their own. As you blankly scroll through those photos, behind the feeling of congratulation, a heavy stone drops with a thud into your heart. Everyone is living so well, but I'm the only one stuck in the same place. I'm the only one getting older without having achieved anything. Am I too late? Am I too late? We've all had at least one of those nights tossing and turning under the covers, suffocating from this terrible impatience and anxiety. Have you ever tormented yourself, blaming yourself because you felt so petty and ugly for feeling jealous instead of genuinely celebrating others' achievements? Those heavy nights when you smiled outwardly and said, "That's amazing, congratulations," but secretly swallowed your tears while leaning your head against the bus window frame on the way back. How many lonely nights have you endured all by yourself, shrinking endlessly as you wondered if this was all you amounted to? Today, we are going to have a deep conversation about the true identity of this suffocating impatience. That agonizing anxiety that feels like everyone else is running ahead while you are left entirely alone on an empty playground. Let me tell you the conclusion first, clearly and upfront. You are absolutely not late. You haven't ruined your life, nor have you fallen behind. That terrible pain crushing you right now is not because you are lacking, but because of a cruel illusion the world has forcibly injected into our brains. In psychology, the cause of this extreme impatience we feel is explained by the concept of the social clock. From the moment we are born, we are trained to live according to a massive, invisible script. It's a set timetable: go to college at a certain age, get a job in your late 20s, get married, have kids, and settle down in a respectable job by your 30s. This social clock is like a giant conveyor belt. We feel safe as long as we flow along on that belt at the same speed as everyone else. But if we happen to slip and fail to keep up with that clock, or get thrown off the belt, our unconscious mind sounds a loud alarm. I have been culled from the herd. I will be abandoned now. This is because our brains are still stuck in the hunter-gatherer era of hundreds of thousands of years ago, where falling behind the group is perceived as a threat to survival, a terror akin to death. And that is why the feeling of being left behind strangles us, moving beyond mere depression and acting like a severe life or death anxiety disorder. Moreover, the era we live in now has a truly cruel environment that amplifies this terror hundreds and thousands of times over. It is a hyper-connected society that forces us to compare others' highlights with our own behind the scenes 24 hours a day. Feelings that used to end after hearing news from a few neighborhood friends now constantly clash with the shining moments of the fastest, most successful people around the world through our smartphone screens. The agonizing times when others fail, despair, and carve their bones are thoroughly edited out. Only the gorgeously bloomed results are visible to our eyes. Therefore, it is, in a way, a very natural physiological response of the brain to fall into a terrible sense of relative deprivation while comparing those dazzling highlight reels with our ordinary, shabby daily lives, boarding the crowded subway exhausted every morning. You are not anxious because you are inadequate or twisted. Your nervous system is screaming because you are defenselessly exposed to an overwhelmingly oppressive hell of comparison. But everyone, take a moment to quietly reflect on the providence of nature. Do the blooming cherry blossoms on the street scold the other flowers, asking why they haven't bloomed yet? Just because the forsythia has bloomed, does the sunflower, meant to bloom in midsummer, grow impatient and forcibly tear its petals open in the spring? No, it doesn't. Every living thing has its own unique time to bloom. Some flowers bloom brightly first in the warm spring breeze, captivating people's eyes, while others emit a deep fragrance only after enduring the scorching summer sun with their entire bodies. There are trees that only burst into their reddest, most beautiful autumn leaves after being struck by the cold, late autumn frost. And there are the noble camellias that bloom upright in the dead of winter, braving the blizzards. Just because a flower blooms later than others does not mean it is worthless or a failure. In fact, the longer a flower endures the wind and rain and roots itself deep in the dark earth, the deeper and longer lasting its fragrance will be. This time you are going through right now, which feels paused and drives you crazy with frustration because you aren't growing quickly like others, this is never a wasted, surplus time. It is the most intense, magnificent time of growth, where you are putting down your own roots larger and firmer than anyone else's beneath the unseen, cold ground. Your life only looked shabby because you were forcing yourself to fit into someone else's timetable. From the perspective of the unique clock of your own life, you are not late by a single minute or second. You are simply passing silently through a slightly longer preparation period than others in order to blossom into a very deep, massive flower of a late bloomer. Flowers that bloom early fade just as early, but flowers that root deeply and bloom late are not easily shaken by any fierce wind and rain, and they enjoy their season the longest and most dazzlingly. It is simply the inevitable growing pain your life is experiencing to become a deeply rooted giant tree rather than a light wildflower. So from now on, boldly smash that violent social clock in your mind that pushes your heart into hell. Whether a friend gets promoted or people around you get married, that is simply their season happening in their time zone. Someone else's spring arriving does not mean your season is an eternal winter. When your heart stings with envy at someone's spectacular success, do not slap your own cheek saying, "Why am I such a loser?" Instead, embrace that beautiful, desperate desire of yours exactly as it is. I truly want my life to blossom that much. The vitality inside me is surging this passionately. The anxiety you feel right now is not proof that you've fallen behind, but the hottest, purest proof of love that you genuinely want to live your life well. You are anxious because you cherish your life so much. Tonight, gently stroke your own bruised ankle, the one you neglected the most, while panting and glancing sideways at everyone else's speed. And in your empty room, look quietly at yourself in the mirror and say this out loud in the sweetest, warmest voice in the world. You were so scared because it felt like everyone else was running forward while you were stuck, left all alone in the pitch-black darkness. But it's okay. You are never late. Even if you bloom a little later than others, you will definitely blossom into your own most beautiful and solid flower in the world. Even if everyone else rushes you, I alone will believe in your pace and wait for you to the very end. Your life was not born to be compared and graded by others, but exists solely to bloom in your own unique color. It is perfectly fine not to be impatient, because right now you are orbiting in the most perfect timing in your very own exact trajectory of your life. Having silently endured the lonely time in the dark earth, not knowing when you would break through, the day will surely come when your own radiant season arrives, and you will smile brightly, realizing what precious fertilizer these tears of anxiety you shed today have become. I, Psychology Lemon, will support your dazzling full bloom with all my heart, more reliably than anyone else. Please lay all your heavy anxiety down with me, and I hope you enjoy your own warm, quiet spring night tonight. I will always stand by your side and fully support your pace. Have a peaceful night.